So how are you feeling? How are you doing? Are you feeling a little bit deep? A little bit like you're in the deep? A little bit in the muck? A little bit in the confusion of the world and the times and your own life? Well, things are about to get illuminated. We have a full moon in Aries, but this full moon in Aries is an action moon. It's saying, it's time. It is time. So let's talk about that right now. Because it's time, right? No time like the present. So October 17th, a full moon in Aries, it's going to light up the sky. It's going to be very bold. It's full of fiery energy. It's encouraging us to break through these obstacles that are holding us back, that have been possibly holding you back. And this moon is also a supermoon. And I know it seems like a lot of them are supermoons, but actually this is the third supermoon, and it's going to be the biggest supermoon of the year, which means the moon is closer. It's in perigee to the, I shouldn't say things I don't quite have right, but it's that, perigee. It's closer to the Earth, let's put it that way, okay? And it's going to appear larger and brighter than usual. So what does that mean for astrology? Well, it just amplifies its influence. It makes it stronger, and it's already an Aries full moon, which is strong in the first place. So if you've been feeling stuck or indecisive or unsure how to proceed on something in your life, this supermoon is like a neon sign. Like, I really encourage you to go out and look at it if you can, if you have clear sky. Because even right now, as it's building up, you can start to feel the power of it so strong. So anyways, this is a sign that it's time to charge forward, to move forward. Do you remember that movie, Labyrinth? Of course, it's classic. It's a 1986 fantasy film, and it follows this young girl, Sarah, and she's basically trying to babysit her brother, and this Goblin King dude comes in with his ball of mystery. I don't know what that crystal ball thing is, but something hypnotic, and he kidnaps her brother, and she has to go back into this labyrinth and get her little brother, Kobe? What's his name? I don't remember his name, but anyway, the little brother. What is his name? Kobe? I don't know. I'll remember in a minute. So, yes, just to get it out of the way, the movie Labyrinth was made in 1986. It does contain some potentially inappropriate themes, such as the age difference between Sarah and the Goblin King, and some of the sexual undertones in their interactions, and parental neglect. But hey, it was the 80s, and that's just how the movies were for kids in the 80s. And I did look it up because there are so many movies from the 80s that would not make it today. Like, it would be so, what's the word when, canceled? Yeah, the movies would be super canceled nowadays. But back then, I looked it up and I said, why were they so intense, movies for kids in the 80s? The answer was partly because filmmakers at the time were trying to engage young audiences with more complex storytelling and with an emotional depth that they could reach. So that's why. With that out of the way, let's get back to the story of the Labyrinth, because it's going to relate to this full moon in Aries. So Sarah gets thrown into this situation, and there are all sorts of strange creatures and riddles and trials that she has to go through. But the real test is Cody. No, what is his name? Toby! The baby's name is Toby. So basically Sarah, she has to go through this labyrinth, and it's about getting back Toby, but at the same time, her real truth path, the reason why she's going through all this, is to find out the determination and willingness to push through her fear, to grow, to change, to metamorphosize. And this Aries full moon is like stepping into our own personal labyrinth with obstacles that are challenging our resolve to create some potential internal growth. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, right? So it symbolizes fresh starts, leadership, initiative, courage, pioneering, facing the unknown. And Aries full moon, it comes in Libra season, because a full moon is always a postcard from the opposition. So Libra and Aries are opposite each other. But it's a reminder during this Libra season, which is about balance, to take some action, to make some bold decisions, that you can navigate your own life and things that come your way. You don't have to be afraid. And if you've been holding back or waiting for the right time for something, or hesitating out of fear, the lunation, this full moon, is an opening to stop doubting yourself. Even if the road ahead feels unclear, you have everything that you need inside of you to find your way. It always comes back to the circle, right? It always comes back to ourselves. And with the moon closer to the earth right now during this lunation, it makes this so much more intense. And if you've been playing small, if you've been tiptoeing around some important decision, this would be a really good time to just embrace your inner leader and that intuition where you don't really think about it. You just do it. You know, it's instinctual. And Aries is very instinctual. So look into that and just be like, I'm doing it. Not going to think about it too much, just going for it. Not only is it a supermoon, but it's a T-square is forming between Mars and Pluto and the moon. So that adds to it. And in astrology, Mars is action and drive, and Pluto symbolizes transformation, uncovering hidden truths. So together they're going to stir up a deep emotion, perhaps, and some inner conflict. But it's pushing you to confront the things that you've been avoiding. See, these negative aspects, they can be challenging, but it's like, it sucks to brush your teeth every night, but if you don't, then you're gonna have cavities. That's a really dumb analogy, but it kind of makes sense. It's like doing the things that you don't really want to do, you do them, and good things happen. Right? Avoiding getting cavities or whatever, but I've been on vacation. I'm still warming up to analogies, but okay. There's this point in the Labyrinth where Sarah and her friends, they get sent into a trapdoor from Jareth the Goblin King into the Bog of Eternal Stench. Now, that's a big problem because it releases a horrible odor with every step.
Oh my God!
And if you fall into the bog, into the water, you're going to smell bad forever. So it's not a great place to be. Now, this moment mirrors the challenges we sometimes face in our own lives. We are stuck in the bog of eternal stench at times in our lives, the places we'd rather not be. We can't avoid them sometimes, though. We have to move forward. So under the influence of Mars and Pluto, you might feel like you're being forced to deal with things that are uncomfortable truths, things that are coming to the surface that you might not want to face, confronting issues that you've tried to sidestep or avoid. But this full moon is here, and it's reminding us that there's support available even when the path seems daunting. No matter how difficult the journey may feel, there are forces, whether it's within you or around you, people in your life, or the unseen forces that are all over, that we can't really see, the unknown. There's support when you need it. And as the tense energy of Mars and Pluto are stirring things up in the eternal bog, or whatever, the bog of eternal stench, the full moon is a time to recognize the allies in your life. Something that comes in from somewhere unexpected, possibly, and you can stay open to that possibility right now to help you get through the maze and the challenges ahead. Chiron, we're going to talk about Chiron next. Chiron's all about turning the wound into power. I just love that. You know, Chiron is a cool dude. And this moon, it's fiery. There's the T-square from Mars and Pluto, making it complicated. Intensity from the super moon. Ooh. But asteroid Chiron is there, and Chiron is going to be very close to the moon, conjoining. That's why we're talking about that. In astrology, Chiron is, of course, the wounded healer, and it represents the ability to transform pain and struggle into strength and wisdom. That's what Chiron does. So in the Labyrinth, that's kind of the point. I don't know exactly what's going on with Sarah and the Goblin King.
What have you done that's generous?
Everything.
But Sarah, at one point, realizes that the Goblin King doesn't have any power over her. You have no power over me.
You have no power over me. You have no power over me.
Once she realizes that, well, everything changes. It's very much like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, where it's like you've got these shoes. You could have gone home the whole time. It's all inside of you. The power's inside of you. It's just a mind shift. Like, oh, you have no power over me. Okay. What's that got to do with Chiron? Chiron's similar. Chiron is influencing this full moon and reminding us that our deepest wounds can sometimes be power if we allow them to be. The power is not the thing that happened to us, but the empowerment that it gave us, the strength that you have on the other side of the wound. We all have scars. We all carry wounds. You know, some of them are harder than others to heal up. But those very wounds can become portals to growth and transformation. And sort of the same thing that happens in the Labyrinth. Sarah's fears and insecurities are carried through all the way until that point when she realizes that she's no longer vulnerable and she has power. Moving forward, what are we doing here with this full moon? It's a time to take action, be bold, be unapologetic, trust yourself, instinct. If you've been waiting on the right time, maybe this is it. This is the moment. And navigating that labyrinth, yep, sometimes we're in the bog of eternal stench, and you don't want to stay there forever. You really don't. So you have to move forward. You have to keep plowing forward to get out. And the Aries energy and this lunation is calling on that. Say, hey, you can go. You don't have to stay here anymore. You can move. Okay, in the end of the movie, Labyrinth, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Okay, there's this scene where Sarah finally sees Toby. And of course, it's in this wild and, extravaganza, Escher sort of craziness where David Bowie can go up and down the stairs and he's singing this cool song.
I move the stars for no one.
And she realizes he has no power over her, and he can see, he's almost got a big tear in his eye. He's like, oh, she knows. And just like that, she's confronted her fears. She gets the baby back. She realizes it's all been an illusion. And the obstacles may not be as insurmountable as they seem. With Mars and Pluto and Chiron all in the mix, the road may not be easy, but there are rewards. Self-discovery, healing, transformation. It's all worth the effort. And, at least we're not in an Escher painting. A super inappropriate David Bowie relationship and a baby that you're trying to save, right? Could be worse. So on the 17th, go outside and stand underneath the light of the brightest, fullest, closest full moon of the year and think about what this moment could mean for you, for your personal labyrinth. Nothing really has power over you if you don't want it to. You'll be even stronger when you come out on the other side. If you're still here, check this out. I looked it up. It's not that hard. Okay. I'll just play a little bit for you. There's such a sad love deep in your eyes, a kind of pale jewel, open and close within your eyes. I'll place the sky within your eyes. That's all for ukulele. I like you just the way you are. I'm glad to be back with you here. Been out of the country for a little while, but hopefully I will be able to get back into the swing of things and be here with you more often. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Bye. It's a really good song. Lyrics are freaking awesome, huh? I didn't know the lyrics were that good.